Hey guys, it's me. I'm back from Stratigecon, or Gateway, as it's been called this time around. Had a good time at the convention. I'm going to go ahead and this video is just going to be a quick wrap up and summary of it. It's going to be a lot of pictures of some different gaming events. I know a YouTube person that went to a gaming convention that covered gaming. Blew my mind too when I thought about it. It's the most innovative thing I've heard of all year. Some highlights from the convention. I got to get Vlada Shavatil. I am so bad with names, some Czech names, but I got him to sign my Galaxy Truckers rulebook. That's it right there, guys. That's the swag. Got him to sign that for me. Went a little bit fanboy on him, but it was good. He said, "I signed in my silver pin," and it was fun time. Now, hopefully, what happens to the last game developer that signed a rulebook for me doesn't happen to him. So Galaxy Trucker is a fun game, guys. Plays really well with a good group of people. If you have the wrong group of people, like any game, it's going to drag. But it's a fun little game. These are my Anima Tactics starter kit, starter sets that are all paint up based. They are done on Forgecraft bases. The resin bases that they have, they paint up really nice, they pick up the primer nice, and then I basically just went over them with a wash to give them a little bit to highlight some of the details, and then left it at that, which looks pretty good. Really like them, so I'm going to give them a quick shout out. The bases worked out way good for what I did. I did play Anima Tactics at the convention, had a lot of fun with it. Wish I had this game down better so that I could run some demos of it. It's really an enjoyable game. I had a good time with it. And I had fun painting the minis. This game is great if you just like collecting minis because of the amount of skill and artwork that goes into the minis. But if you're into gameplay and having fun, this game is great for that too. So, I suggest you pick it up, but I had a good time playing this at the convention. The other thing I did, I played In Her Majesty's Name. Here's the rulebook here. I'm going to go ahead and throw this out. Osprey is the publisher. They do an excellent job with their rulebooks. I have the rulebook here for In Her Majesty's Name and for Ronin. And these rulebooks, I have my pages tabbed. I did that just so that I could flip through it real quick when I was doing my, my crew creating. And it's not really necessary because when we were flipping through it at the convention just to check up one or two obscure little things that nobody was sure about, finding what we needed was super easy. Guys that were just learning the game were flipping through the rulebook and finding stuff and asking questions about it. So it's a great thing. Osprey, gonna go ahead and just throw that out. You guys did a really good job with these rulebooks. Ronin, I want to say the same thing. It's really easy to flip through and find stuff. It was a good time. I'm gonna start playing this. I have to pick up the minis for it still, but that's gonna be for another video. Aside from that, at the convention, In Her Majesty's Name, I ran my League of Extraordinary Gentlemen and I ran Arabian Nights, and both of those played really well. The way that the crews are developed, there was a lot of synergy with the different characters that I had in each crew. I played each one at different times. I got really good responses. I also found out I did some silly things, like take Mina Harper here. By the way, these cards are from Ebenstar's template that he gave me. He put up on the Facebook. But this template worked out really good and made it fast for finding the information and not having to have sheets of paper flip through stuff. But I gave her a shooting value of +1. She doesn't have a gun or anything that shoots. So I could have given her a fighting value of +5 or her pluck, something. You know, I could have done something extra. So I did that with a couple characters. Wild Bill Hickok's the same thing. I gave him 0 on his fighting value. Although he's got a bullwhip that gives you 0 plus a well. So, and I gave him a pluck of 5, which on a D10 system is a 50-50 shot as to whether or not you're going to get it. So those were some things. I got to learn about where I misappropriated my resources on my crews, and I'm going to go ahead and tweak those. So it was really good to watch other people play them and get feedback from them. Phil took his Cult of Kali crew and his Yellow Brick Road crew. Those are really amazing. Phil always does the best paint jobs. I wish I could have played against them. I went ahead, I ran some boss monster demos, and Flux the card game and the board game. The Flux is one of those games when you pull it out at a convention, it doesn't matter what kind of convention it is, it will always get oohs and ahs. People are always like, oh my god, they make a board game, I'm going to play that. They make a card game, I'll play that. My wife went with me to do some demos. She's never demoed anything. In fact, she hasn't gone with me to a convention in several years now. She and I used to attend conventions all the time as attendees. And she stopped going because the crowd, it got to be, there's too many crowds at events. You can't get anything signed that you really want to get signed. You're pulled in all kinds of directions. So she stopped going with me to conventions. Then we had the kids and stuff, so it kind of became hard for both of us to go. So hopefully this is her segue back into the convention scene. She's never been to strictly a gaming con. She's always been to conventions, Comic-Con and those kinds of things that I would drag her to. So this is her first time to a gaming con, and I don't think she was as prepared mentally as she could have been for the sights and sounds, but she really enjoyed herself. She seemed to have had a good time. Monstore was there, running their booth. They had a buy one, get one 50% off on board games, so we picked up Card of the Dead and Love Letters, and I picked up a bunch of Anima Tactics minis. So it was a good time there. Monstore is always a pleasure to deal with. They always have the best stuff, and they're always willing to cut you a bargain, especially at a convention. Aside from that, I played Saga. Saga's a hilariously fun game. It's really good mechanics. The battle boards are really unique to it, so it was a good time. Played Free Blades, sort of. We gave it a shot. We didn't get through turn one because it's not a fun game, guys. I've heard some mixed reviews about it. Some meh. It's neither here nor there, but it's not a fun game. We stopped playing it midway through, and we will play anything. Played Castle Dice with the Sokals. It was a good time. They are always fun. That game, I've enjoyed it each time I've played it. So it's a resource game. It's really a fun time, though. I got to play Room 25 with Octave and the guys. That game is hilariously fun. We played King of Tokyo too. That game is fun too. I did a demo of Lord of the Rings, the miniatures game. That game, I've played the Mines of Moria scenario before at a GW store, but I've never bought into it. I've never played the other scenario that we played. I believe it was the Minas Tirith scenario. It's where Frodo and Samwise had to get through the grate into the sewers to win. For me, the game was long. I enjoy it. I enjoyed it. The mechanic was a GW mechanic. I had fun with it. I would buy into it if the price point was lower, which is, as I've said before, for me the biggest issue is always price point. I don't look to get into big expensive games, but the minis are nice. The game is fun. Larry, who demoed the game, is a great guy. Made it a very enjoyable experience. So I don't know that I'd buy into it. Speaking of GW, I accidentally supported a GW product. I for some reason forgot that I had some tape measures stolen at another convention. So I was 2 tape measures short for my events, and I had to go, and the only thing they carried at the convention was GW tape measures. So I inadvertently supported GW. My bad. I will live with that. Sort of. What else did I do? Oh, I played this silly little card game. It's called Exodus, the trading card game. It was developed by a brother and sister team. As you can see here on the business card they gave me. The artwork is really good. It's reminiscent of Magic the Gathering, which is where they said they got some of their inspiration from. But Exodus, the card game. I was supposed to videotape a demo and do an interview with them, and then I wore the wrong shoes to the convention. I've never done this before. In all the years since the late 90s that I've been attending conventions, have I ever worn the wrong shoes? And I wore the wrong shoes and blistered the heck out of my feet on Saturday. I could not go anywhere. Like, I was not walking anywhere more than I had to. I went, I did my Boss Monster and my Flux demos, and that was all I was doing. I was not walking, I was not talking to anybody, because my feet hurt. I got stuck doing some extra long demos, so I kind of missed out on that. But I'm arranging to have a Google Plus hangout with them, where we're going to do an interview, and they're going to go over some gameplay and some of their inspiration. I'm going to ask them some questions, so hopefully that'll be up in the next week or two. Besides that, I've got some battle reports that are going to be up late this week well, it's Thursday, so it's already late in the week, but it's probably going to be early next week where I have my Saga battle reports, my In Her Majesty's Name battle reports, my Lord of the Rings battle reports, um, and some summaries on each of those games. This was a great convention. I plan on attending more of the Strategicon conventions. They're going to be at the Hilton now. They're not going to be at the Sheraton. It was a very fun time. I always love going to cons, especially when I see people regularly that I don't get to see every day or on a regular basis. That I go to a convention, I'm gonna guaranteed to see somebody I know, and people love meeting me and seeing me because they see the stuff I post on Facebook and they think I'm this hilariously funny guy, and then they meet me in person and they realize, wow, he's kind of just a dick, which is fine with me. I'm not out to please anybody. But no, but I had fun meeting people and doing all that stuff. So let's see. I covered Anima Tactics. I covered Saga. I covered In Her Majesty's Name. I briefly spoke about Ronin, Boss Monster, Flux, Exodus, Castle Dice, Room 25. The only other thing right now, I'll just give you guys a peek of what I'm working on right now. I picked these up from War Games Factory. They're the armored Saxons, and I got the unarmored Saxons. They had these on sale for Gen Con. So ordered a bunch of stuff from them, and wound up with about 2 4-point armies. I still have to get my warlords, but these are going to be for my Welsh and for my Danes. So that will be what I'm working on now to get my Saga up and running. Aside from that, I will be getting ready for my next convention. I will be going to PowerCon as an attendee. I won't be running demos. We're taking the kids. We're going to go hang out and have fun and not worry about, do we have to demo by a certain time? Do we have to have a certain number of demos? So it'll be interesting to go for the first time in a long time as an attendee and not as a person working the con or somebody doing demos. So I hope you guys enjoy the pictures and stuff, and I'll have those battle reports up at the end of the week. So, have fun gaming, guys. If you're not having fun and you're gaming, then you're doing it wrong. So, happy gaming. May the dice always roll in your favor.